Nobody likes financial waste, especially when it comes to healthcare. Individuals and families don't like to waste that money, and nor do business owners. And yet 25% of what businesses spend on healthcare is being wasted. How to eliminate that and take back control? Our next guest has answers. So happy to be joined by Donovan Pyle, CEO of Health Compass Consulting. Thanks for being here.
Great to be here, Roxanne. Thanks for having me.
You bet, Donovan. Now, what prompted you to write this book? We're talking about this issue that exists, this 25% waste when it comes to healthcare for businesses.
Yeah, so last year, U.S. businesses spent about $1.3 trillion covering 164 million Americans. And as you noted, 25% of that was wasted. That's $325 billion or $4,000 per employee last year. Totally unnecessary and totally unsustainable.
Okay, so talk about what comprises that waste. What is that made up of?
Sure. So the whole system is designed to hide the price from employers and patients, okay? So, one of the first steps that we talk about in my book is putting yourself in a position where you can actually see your supply chain. And once you see your supply chain, then you can actually start managing it for value and driving more value to your employees.
What I love to see is with your book, you're saying, hey, you know what? You don't need to worry about politicians solving this problem for you. You don't need to worry about going to Washington, D.C. You can take back your power. You can control the situation.
Exactly. We don't need any action from Washington, D.C. right now. Executives have the power to solve these problems. They just need clarity on how to reclaim it and use it. So that's why I wrote this book.
I love it. Okay, so can you elaborate a little bit? You talk about the supply chain, you talk about what you need to do to take those steps, because you really, in fixing healthcare, you lay out the steps necessary. You lay out the playbook.
Yes, exactly. It's the Executive Playbook for reclaiming control and leading the way. So for example, in Central Florida, where we are, healthcare prices vary over 1,100%. You don't see that in any other market. For example, I got an MRI for myself a couple weeks ago, and because I know how to buy, I was able to buy it for $400. Whereas if many employees are going and getting MRIs, the same exact MRI, for over $4,000. It's completely unsustainable and unnecessary.
That's crazy when you look at that discrepancy, that disparity.
Yeah.
And so you have done this research. You know to go get the $400 MRI because you've done all this research.
Yeah.
But now you're saying, hey, you don't have to do all this research. Just read the book.
Just read the book. I mean, clarity produces action, right? If you don't have clarity as an executive, you're not going to know how to take action. So the first step is to get clarity, get unbiased advice. Stop relying on supply side vendors for financial advice.
That makes sense. What else do you do at a Health Compass Consulting?
So I'm the CEO and founder. I worked on the carrier side of the business. I worked for a national brokerage firm. I saw how the misaligned incentives were harming employers and patients, and said, let's figure out a different revenue model to really align ourselves with businesses and help them achieve their objectives.
Donovan, with about 20 seconds left, just your overall pitch on what you want someone to learn to do once they read your book.
Well, thank you. So if you're an employee sitting out there that is frustrated with rising healthcare costs or stagnant wages, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to fixinghealthcare.com and download the free executive summary of my book and give it to your boss. They have the power to solve these problems. They just have to know how.
I love that. Of course, we want to give our viewers the information on the screen where they can go to find out more. And of course, the phone number to reach out to Health Compass Consulting. Thank you so much, Donovan.
Sure.
Great stuff. You're solving a problem that everybody's affected by.
Appreciate your help.